Technical specifications of Bf-110 C4. Power plant. Engine. Daimler-Benz DB601. Power. 1,100 horsepower. Quantity. 2. Dimensions. Length. 12.65 meters. 41.502 feet. Height. 3.50 meters. 11.48 feet. Wingspan. 16.27 meters. 53.38 feet. Crew. 2 people. Maximum takeoff weight. 6,750 kg. 7.441 tons. Maximum flight speed at an altitude of 7,000 meters, 22,960 feet, 560 km per hour, 348 miles per hour. Climb rate. 11 meters per second, 36.089 foot per second. Practical ceiling. 10,000 meters, 32,800 feet. Flight range. 775 kilometers, 481.575 miles. Armament. 4 by 7.92 mm, 0.3118 inch, MG-17 machine gun. 2 by 20 mm, 0.787 inch, MG-151 20th cannon. The history of the creation of the aircraft. In the mid-1930s, Germany's leading aircraft companies participated in a competition to create a combat aircraft of a hitherto unprecedented strategic fighter class. According to the Luftwaffe Command's plan, the plane was to be used to gain air superiority over enemy territory and to escort long-range bombers. The Luftwaffe Command also envisioned it performing the tasks of a long-range fighter-interceptor, reconnaissance and fighter bomber. Of the designs submitted to the Luftwaffe Commission, the Bf-110 was considered the best. The design was developed by Willy Messerschmitt, and after Bayerische Flugzeugwerk took over, the Bf-110 was often also referred to as the Me-110. Tests of the first 3 Bf-110 prototypes began in the spring of 1935. The first flight, May 12, 1935. In 1937, the Bf-110 fighter was adopted by the Luftwaffe and put into full-scale production. A pre-production batch of 4 machines was produced the same year. It was an all-metal twin-engine monoplane with a low-lying wing and flared tail. The prototypes of Bf-110 flew with DB600A engines of 910 horsepower each. With these engines, the aircraft could reach speeds of up to 317 miles per hour. The majority of production Bf-110s were equipped with 12-cylinder water-cooled DB601 engines of different modifications with the output of 1,050 to 1,350 horsepower each. The engines were driven by 3-bladed VDM propellers with electric pitch control and with the blades set in the weather vane position. The equipment of the aircraft was largely determined by its purpose. However, most aircraft were equipped with a set of instruments for long-distance flights. In the tail section of the fuselage there was a Patin remote compass with electric data feed to the pointer, and on the instrument panel in the cockpit there was a Sperry gyropole compass. Standard equipment was a FUG-10 radio with shortwave and longwave transceiver units, radio navigation and blind landing units. The total weight of the radio was 357.15 pounds. Despite its good speed characteristics and powerful armament, the Bf-110 proved unsuitable for combat missions as a fighter. In terms of climb rate and maneuverability, it was inferior to all major enemy fighters, mainly due to insufficient engine power for such a heavy machine. The plane climbed to a height of 5,000 meters, 16,404 feet, in about 8.4 minutes and completed a full turn at an altitude of 1,000 meters, 3,280 feet, in 30 seconds. By comparison, a British Spitfire MKVB took 6,100 meters, 20,013 feet, in 6 minutes 24 seconds and spent 18.8 seconds making a turn. The heavy losses suffered by squadrons armed with Bf-110 fighters forced the Luftwaffe Command to redirect them to reconnaissance, bombing, and long-range interdiction of enemy bombers. However, the Bf-110 was used most successfully as a night air defense interceptor fighter. The Bf-110's forward fuselage had enough space to house its cumbersome radar equipment, and the increased aerodynamic drag caused by its antennas sticking out in all directions was to some extent compensated for by the increased power of the aircraft's engines. As such, the Bf-110 proved more effective than not only the Ju-88 and Ju-217 fighters converted to interceptors, but also the latest fighter-interceptors He-219. In early 1944, the Reich's air defense system used 320 Bf-110 of various modifications, which accounted for about 60% of the total number of air defense fighters. Production of Bf-110 continued until March 1945 and was stopped only after the Russian tanks invaded the Messerschmitt plant.